This book is purposefully and unapologetically personal from the perspective of those of the lower and middle rank who served in the two recent wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. And that's a euphemistic way of saying in places it's graphic. This is a book about the people who fought your wars in these two wars. And I wanted to signal that we were talking about combatants, not really supervisors, not politicians, and the book doesn't have much of them in it. I have something that I think is the number one thing that helps people, and having just given this talk about all this violence, you might be surprised at what it is. There's one thing, you'll see it in the book, the people who come out the back end of the book doing better, it's unstated, but it's there, and we see it in all our lives. You know what that thing is? The main thing that saves people or makes them have better outcomes? Love. That's what it is. It's your families. It's your relationships. It's your children that give you a sense of purpose and open up reservoirs of love that a young Marine or soldier might not even know exists in him or her when they're 19 or 25, but they realize when they're 30 and they're having their families. The people who I know who have done best get into good relationships. The relationships become the center of their community. And a lot of the people I know who've done well coming home and have integrated well get into, let's call them sort of light replicas of their military units, whether it's their church, or their gym, or their fishing club. They find an other sense of commonality with people, and that's one of the main things that helps people feel at place again. You know, you served your country, you might as well come back to your country. You might as well come back to your country on good footing and have the life you deserve. And love and community are the things that you need for that. War is what you do when other things have failed. We should have as many people as we can involved in trying to decide what failure looks like and then what the war looks like, and then having a realistic strategy. What do I mean by realistic strategy? I mean exactly what it sounds like, a realistic set of goals. What are we trying to achieve? How do we know when we achieved it? And how do we organize our resources to achieve it as quickly as possible? The draft eventually did put brakes on the Vietnam War. And I think one of the main results of the all-volunteer force is it extinguished the anti-war movement. So there's a correlation. We can argue about where the needle lies on the scale, and I don't know, every study would probably give you a slightly different answer depending on the war and the society. But all these things in principle are about checks and balances. And as reasonable people, we should believe in checks and balances.